we're in New York right now, so it's very relatable. It's like Australian culture often, especially in sport, follows American sport 10, 20 years later.
Yeah.
So like, it's a very new thing that players are now shipping themselves around and stuff like that. That's been happening in the NBA for decades. Like, but Australian culture is very much like, nah, you got to be loyal. Like, you were drafted this team. But my point is, we didn't get a choice of who we were drafted with. Like, I just like some of my friends even. There was a guy that went to my school that got drafted. He was a top 10 pick a few years ago. He's an Essendon player. You can probably work it out. But when he was getting drafted, he said, I don't even know him, but he was like, I don't want to go to an interstate team. All my friends are like, look at this guy and stuff. I'm just like, okay, picture you don't get a choice at what business you work with. You can be shipped anywhere. And that happens sometimes, like with business. I understand you'd be like, if you don't take this job, you're fired or whatever. I get that. But as an 18-year-old, like, you're very young, and that's also different in American sport. You're 18, not 21. Why, logically, why wouldn't you, as a person that could get drafted anyway, is clearly going to get drafted, why wouldn't you say you'd rather be at a Melbourne team? I think that's ridiculous. Like, if you have a choice, why not make the best choice? You don't have to be loyal to this random team that's picked you up. It's just the most ridiculous concept ever. Like, why not make the most of your opportunity?
And how much is that sort of conversation happening more and more, like, internally in the fraternity of players?
Oh, yeah, no, it's happening a lot. Especially, I worked with the PA and we talk about it all the time, but I lost track there a little bit. With Christian and Clayton, it's like they've been at a club for, I think, 12 years or something, 11, 12 years. Like, in modern business, how often does an employee stay at the same business, the same role? Like, I know we as players, you can't change your role.
Back in the day, they used to. But
yeah, exactly. But, like, yeah, back in the day, but modern business, that would be, I don't know what the percentage would be, but it would be less than sort of 10%, I'm guessing. Like, it doesn't happen anymore. It's modern living. Like, why shouldn't that relate to footy? Like, if you have this opportunity to get a longer contract or more money, like,
I guess it comes to what does it mean to bleed for the jumper?
Yeah. And like, you get those players. Like, I think very honourable. And it's still, you got to celebrate these players as well, because what they're doing is very good. Like Cripps, for example. Like, Carlton struggled. They've struggled most of his career. He got drafted about the same age as me. Like, and he's just stuck because he can see the light and whatever. And one of my good mates, Gorney, I admire him so much. I don't tell him enough. But he also just stuck with them. And his mindset is they backed him in because he could have got flicked after a few years, had a few ACLs. Absolutely. So in his mindset, he's like, I need to reward them for this, showing this loyalty. And twofold to his case is he had to answer to everything in the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
They put him out because he's so good at public speaking. He's very diplomatic. He relates to everyone. He had to deal with, like, what happened with Clayton, what happened to Goody, what happened to the board, what happened to everything. He was always the spokesperson. And then he had to still play. And he's, 8 times all Australian? It's ridiculous. He's a remarkable human. But yeah, I lost track a little bit there. But it's very interesting.
Well, yeah, well, I mean...
About changing clubs and Christian. And yeah, I told my friends, I'm like, watch these two flourish. Like, it happened to me on a smaller scale. Like, I was in a bit of a rut form. And so I went to West Coast on a longer contract and stuff. Wasn't offered 2-3 years at Melbourne. And the first year at West Coast, as a team, we did horribly, but I arguably had one of my best seasons. Like, I came fourth in the BNF. I've always been like a fringe player. I'm very realistic about it. And I came fourth in the BNF. I had a really good year just because the change of scenery. Like, everything was new to me, fresh, exciting. We still pretty much lost every game, but I was happy out there. It was a different city I was living in. It's a change of environment. You see it in business all the time. You can go from, like, being an okay person, like, productive wise, and then all of a sudden just a fresh office or a fresh something, all of a sudden it just gets you into gear.
You also bring up an interesting point because you flourished when you went to Perth from growing up living in Melbourne, but you know, you were talking earlier about how getting drafted, if you had been sent to Perth at 18, what would that have done for you?
No, I would have never even played a game in the ones, 100%. I would have really struggled mentally. I know that for a fact. Like, my family, I'm very close to them. They were massive support, but like I touched on it before, my school friends were my biggest, like, And they don't know that, but like being able to just be Jade and a normal person, like meant so much. I lived with them all. Like I could just get away from it all. Like they don't care, which is great, which sounds weird, but they honestly don't care what I do for a job. I don't care what they do for a job. We never talk about that shit. We talk about whatever's going on, like stuff that actually matters.